Hello everyone and welcome back to the JP on Comms YouTube channel for another edition of this All You Need to Know player series, looking at Maidstone United's latest incoming signings and bringing you all the news that you're going to need to know about those signings. And of course today, as you'll be able to tell by the title, we are going to be taking a look at Maidstone United's latest defensive reinforcement, David Sesay. Well, funnily enough, it was actually quite easy to put together this video before recording, simply because I recorded it already 2 years ago. Before we had Charlie Seaman come through the club and a couple other players playing in those positions, I actually did do a video on David Sesay from his time at Maidstone, and he was my pick as a reinforcement to bring in at that time. Since then, he's gone on and done other things. He's most recently been playing at Eastbourne. Like I said, he is a defender, primarily playing at right back, can also play on that left-hand side as well when needed. Again, George Elokobi and his versatility, it never stops, but it's a very good trait to look for in players. He is currently 26 years old. He's going to be 27 later on this year, so he's still in those prime years that you want for those reinforcements coming into this side. And for me, this is already from the outlook a really promising signing. Of course, let's go through his career and his background up to now. He started off in his youth with 11 years at the Watford Academy right up until 2018. So an incredible amount of experience he would have gained growing up in that sort of area with those coaches, learning his trade at a very promising club at the time. Championship and Premier League experience for Watford during a period that he was there. He then left Watford Academy and went to Crawley. He ended up featuring over 50 times in the Football League and actually won the Young Player of the Year for Crawley during his time there as well. He was there until 2021, where he then moved to Barnet. After Barnet, he did a year or so there, moved over to Maidstone, which is when I was looking at him, moved from Maidstone down to Weymouth up to Eastbourne, and that is where he's most recently applied his trade in the last year or two. That is a pretty decent career path, coming in with a lot of experience, almost 200 senior appearances from what I can find online and through various different sources. So he's coming in with an absolute bucket load of experience. And for me, it's not just that experience that he brings. He's a fantastic quality player, in my opinion. Like I always say in these videos, I can never guarantee anything. I can't, unfortunately, make the stars align and promise that someone's going to come in and rule the roost and be the player that everybody wants them to be. But all you can do is go off what you've seen and you know, the way they've applied themselves in the past. And I think for Sesay, he's definitely someone who has excelled. You know, he's done very well at pretty much every club he's been at. I think for Maidstone, we're probably going to see something quite similar. He's a very reliable, very consistent player. He's an incredibly attacking player. He's quick, he's agile, he's got great engine on him. You know, he can get up and down that line, tracking back when he needs to. That's all well and good being an attacking fullback, you know, getting forward, getting crosses into the box, picking up a goal here and there, which he does do, by the way. But you've also got to have that defensive side too, yeah, especially in the George Elokobi side. We've seen over the last couple of seasons, we've tried to lock down that defensive area. We did really well at that last season. I think we had the least goals conceded with 38, something similar to that, in the 30s, I'm pretty sure, last year. And he can definitely contribute to that defensive side of things as well. And that is really important because we've just lost Charlie Seaman to Ebbsfleet. He was a very attacking fullback, but can also get back, do the dirty work, get the challenges in, make those tackles, and help out at the back as well as on the front foot. So that's an incredibly good thing to have. Something that I would be very happy to see week in, week out, and I am very happy to see week in, week out. Talking about his goals and contributions and things like that, he's not a high scorer. He's a fullback. Neither was Charlie really, but he can contribute. You know, he picks up a couple goals here and there per season, and that's a good thing to have. It's just a different option. Looking at assists as well, really can't find statistics for assists. They're very difficult down in the south, but from what I've watched back on videos and things like that and from highlights, he does get the odd assist here and there as well, which is fantastic. You want that coming from someone who's going to be one of those driving forces forward and adding a different option to that front line in one way around it. You know, it's not just those attacking players that opposition sides are going to have to take a look at. They're going to have to worry about overlapping runs as well now, which is fantastic for us. For me, I think David Sesay is going to be a great asset to this team, and it's an incredibly promising build. If you watch my Creating Conversation video just the other day, you will have seen that I did mention quite a lot throughout that video about bringing in bigger names and quality players that can attract other players as well. Sometimes you just need to get one or two through the door to be able to go to other players and say, look who we're bringing in. You know, we've got quality established players from in and around the division, and for me, that is certainly what we've done here. And people will probably take a look at us and go, wow, David Sesay, okay, he's a high quality player from the division. You know, played at Eastbourne last season, played in higher divisions as well, got a load of experience, you know, has been highly thought of at many stages throughout his career. One example I can back that up with was an article that I found from way back in his youth when he was at Crawley, and it was actually an article linking him to West Brom. And it come from a fan and a journalist of West Brom who was looking into defensive frailties they had in their side, and they actually did pick David Sesay as a replacement for Mason Holgate, who was on loan at the time. So, yeah, you know, he's certainly been highly thought of. He was also valued at 350k back in the day, apparently, according to this article, which, you know, it'd be really nice to see him get back to that value, wouldn't it? Especially for our club, you know, get a bit of money in. But, yeah, I think David Sesay is someone who's going to be a great asset to this team. You know, he's a Sierra Leone international as well, so he's got international experience to back that up. He's had the option to play for Kenya, I believe, in previous years, but a few different things about having a Kenyan passport and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just this experience comes from everywhere with him, which is fantastic. You know, higher divisions, promising academies, international appearances. The TV's gone off again, but it's just so much to look forward to, and I think for us this is a really good signing. So welcome David Sesay. This was all you needed to know about Maidstone United's latest defensive reinforcement. All the best, and I hope you come and smash it here at the Gallagher Stadium. So thank you everybody for watching. Big up to David Sesay, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.